Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a surprise impromptu nightcap. I don't think I've had a surprise impromptu nightcap before. And I want to welcome you. Tonight is the 12th of December, 2019. It's a Thursday evening. Welcome, I'm Roy Potter. And the background picture is a picture of where I am. That is Mount Rainier. And I thought you would like to see it. Of course, it's not very far from Seattle. It's on the western side of the state. It's part of the Cascades. It is it's not really a dormant volcano. They're on the north side, the north face of Mount Rainier. There's a very soft spot, and they're watching the magma underneath. Just for your own information, Mount Rainier scares the hell out of me. I have been on mountains all over the world. I've never been to Everest, of course, but I've climbed many a mountain. I've been near plenty of mountain ranges, and there's just something about Mount Rainier. When I was there, this picture was actually taken, just so you know, in 2008. I took a little vacation up there with a friend of mine and one of my daughters after my wife died, and this was a picture that I took right there next to Mount Rainier. But I'm also not far from there right now, and that's why I thought I'd put it up. But my wife and I were walking. This is when I got back from my deployment overseas in 2001, 2002. We were up in the Seattle, Washington area, and we took a little hike around Mount Rainier. And although I had been close to it when I was at Fort Lewis in 1975 going through Army training, I had never been at the base of the mountain, and I'll tell you what, it has an energy that just really unnerved me. I guess you could say I'm somewhat of a coward at heart, but it's just like I guess the magma flow underneath that mountain, that volcano, that it's not, like I say, a dormant volcano. It's just kind of in between, whatever. Man, I could feel that magnetic field, and it was disturbing. I don't know if anybody else has had that. I see these mountaineers that climb up there. I know a couple, as a matter of fact, and I ask them, do you feel that? And they go, oh, no, man, we don't feel anything. So I guess it's just my sensitivity. I definitely felt it. It was a feeling of danger and foreboding, but it's because I realized the power behind that thing. If, I guess I could feel it. So at any rate, I thought I would share that with you, and here's a picture of Mount Rainier for your enjoyment tonight. Let me get out of the way here so you can see a little bit more of it. Like I said, I took that picture in 2008. I think it was August of 2008. You can see what the snow is like up there. It's pretty formidable. And of course, Mount Rainier is about 14,000 feet. And since the area that I'm taking that picture is basically from sea level, that's pretty, like I say, that's pretty formidable. You realize that you're dealing with a behemoth when you look at that. And of course, just south of that, Mount St. Helens blew its top back in the 1980s, and it was pretty devastating. And they watch Mount Rainier because they're wondering if this thing's gonna, blow its side, I guess it is, towards the north, which would definitely take out Seattle. But at any rate, that's what's going on. Of course, then we have the really good news in Yellowstone Park with the cauldron in Yellowstone Park, which I understand, I heard through the grapevine. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that there was a terrorist that, I hope I'm not giving anybody any ideas here, but I heard that there was a terrorist who thought that they might put a nuclear device in the Yellowstone cauldron, and boy, that would definitely cause some problems. Let's just hope that the FBI isn't real good at what it does. I'm sorry, but they're just not. They can catch their own guys that they set up, but they're really not good at anything else. As I said earlier today, look at the Pulse nightclub, the Las Vegas shooting. By the way, Aaron Rouse, a special agent in charge there in Las Vegas, he's on a special list of the secret society of the FBI. Did you know that? Yes, I found that out, and I meant to say something about it, but that's partly, I'm sure, why he helped to cover up that stuff that happened in Vegas, and apparently, from what I've learned since then, I was really hard on Sheriff Lombardo, but apparently they threatened Sheriff Lombardo. Aren't these just wonderful people in the FBI? Yeah, they are. Sheriff Lombardo is the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Which is kind of interesting, because how do you have a sheriff over a police department? But that's one of those things that don't make any sense, which is exactly why we're here tonight. I'm not going to take all your time tonight, but you know what happened to me? I'm here all alone. Everybody's out doing secret shopping for Christmas, and they said, Roy, what are you going to do tonight? And I said, I don't know. The fog. I don't really want to go out in this. And they said, oh, that's good. So you'll stay here and kind of keep watch on things. I said, yeah. So they're all gone. They're out shopping, out having fun at restaurants, whatever it is that you do at this time of the year. So here I am. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You're keeping me company. I couldn't be happier. And, of course, this is what we're going to talk about tonight. It's a very serious topic. I said I didn't want to get into serious topics during these nightcaps. I want these to be kind of like, but this is really important. I mean, considering all that's happening, this is the question of this age. Okay, you ready for this? Here's the question. Now, I'm not going to show you much about it. You know what this is? Do you see that? This is peanut butter. Okay? And so what I have for you is a question. Okay, I don't want you to see the name. I don't want the people. There's nothing wrong with this peanut butter. It's an extremely good peanut butter, okay? But the point is, this is the philosophical question of the day, and this is the thing that we have to answer tonight above any other question: political, scientific, religious, spiritual, whatever. This is the most important question we have to answer tonight. We need to decide, okay, whether what you like is peanut butter or to swim. Which of those two do you like? Do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? That's the question that we must answer tonight, and that's on the same par that we see in government and the way they operate, and this whole thing with the impeachment, and the whole thing with the Horowitz report, and the whole thing with Barr and Durham, the whole thing with the Afghan war, the whole thing with Russia as the most horrible, terrible country in the entire world. Never mind that Crimea belongs to Russia in the first place, and that we have no business in that part of the world. The real important question of our time, not if God exists, all right? None of those things. Not if President Trump is the Cyrus of the last age. What we need to know is if you like peanut butter or you like to swim. And if you don't understand the significance of that question, you're just not with it, okay? You don't understand the importance of everything that's happening to us. So that's the first thing. Vain philosophy. We're full of it. We have so much of it that, we really ought to just have a comical series on it. A series that's based upon the comedy of vain philosophy. And I guess that's really what comedy is anyway. I heard a guy talking not too long ago about Robin Williams. As a matter of fact, it was Richard Grannon was talking about it, and he looked and who's a kind of into psychology of things and all. He's not a clinical psychologist. I thought he was because of the way he talked, but he really isn't. But he's very well versed, and he's been studying psychology, and he's appreciated with his commentary, and I think some of you know who he is. But he brought up Robin Williams, and that Robin Williams was a good example of comedy, but comedy is often promulgated by anger, that you're so angry at what's happening in the world that you make fun of it in an angry sort of way. Hence tonight's program. Do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? That's the question of the age. And it's the same question basically that has as much sense as everything else that's happening in the world, as I just explained. So that's going to be on the chat tonight. I want to know whether you like peanut butter or whether you like to swim. And don't think that's a silly question, because if you think that's a silly question, you haven't been watching the impeachment hearings. You haven't been watching the Horowitz testimony. You haven't been watching all of these things that have been happening, right? That is the question of the age. Do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? Vain philosophy. We are so immersed in it, are we not? The other part, of course, is, as I named this, truth of falsehood. What is the truth of falsehood? Well, that's a dichotomy if there ever was one, right? And aren't we engaged in that as well? Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. We don't even really know, honestly. There's this flat earth argument going on. Oh, we're a flat earth. No, we're a sphere. Oh, we're a ball in space. No, space is all a hologram. It's not real, and we're just kind of sitting here. We're in the center of the universe. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, okay, there are experiments you can do on the flat earth theory and on the spherical earth theory. But in reality, unless you actually get out away from the earth and look at it, do you really know what the truth is? No, you're taking somebody else's word for it. There are experiments in the flat earth that turn out to be true. There are experiments in the spherical earth that turn out to be true. I imagine BP Earthwatch is here tonight. Good old Jesse, he knows about the satellites out there, the different cameras that are out looking at the sun and at the earth and at the solar system and the universe and all these things. And he'll tell you, well, they're out there, right? They're not here. They're out there, and I say to him, that's very true. But does that prove that the Earth isn't flat? I don't know. And you might say, Potter, you're really going off on one tonight. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? That's where we are tonight. Okay, that's what we're about. If the government can lie to us, if historians can lie to us, if anthropologists can lie to us, you got to understand something. The theory of evolution is an agreement. Okay, it's very much like the Rosetta Stone. They just agree that the Egyptian that's on the Rosetta Stone is the same Egyptian spoken in the Ptolemaic period that was spoken in the First Dynasty. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Well, that's basically what the evolutionary theory is. They just all agree to it, and if you're not going to agree with them, then they call you a heretic, right? They call you crazy. But they don't know. The fact of the matter is, as I've said often, the second law of thermodynamics totally decimates the theory of evolution. The law of entropy, as opposed to the theory of evolution, that's what we have here. But oh no, we're going to agree that these things happen, and anybody who doesn't agree, they're the heretics, right? Science is a religion. It's not the scientific method. Not anymore. Not when they're trying to hide from you who you really are, where you come from, and where you're going. They don't want you to know that, do they? The truth of falsehood. They want to push what's false, to say it's true, and that if you don't agree with that, then you're the heretic and you're going to be persecuted in one way or another. Do we not see that happening? Yes, we do. I have a great deal of respect for the scientific method. I really honestly do. But look where it got us. Who really discovered electricity, and who is going to give us free energy? Think about this. Well, let's see. Tesla was a man of integrity. Tesla was a man of extreme intelligence. And he discovered that there is an electronic magnetic field around the earth that you can harness that energy for free for everyone. No. Thomas Edison and Andrew Carnegie could not have that, because that would free everybody up and not keep them within the system. So Tesla was pushed aside. And they came up with the idea of sending electric current through wires, right? Well, they got away with it. They got away from that a little bit later when they got into radio and they got into, the internet and microwaves and those things, so they could surveil you. But all of it is always about what? Control. That's what it's about. The truth of falsehood. The real reason why they do things will never be revealed to you. They will always say it's the truth as they present it. And of course, that's the last thing that they're doing. So I wanted to come on tonight and present these concepts to you, and we can joke around a little bit. I'm going to get back on the chat here because I'm lonely, man. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, tonight's the 12th of December. We've got 12 days of Christmas. Is it the 12 days before Christmas now? I believe it is, isn't it? Maybe that starts tomorrow night. But regardless, here we are. And I thought this is a perfect time to come on. Actually, I was going. I tried to get a hold of a lady tonight that's a good friend of mine. She's a riot. And I was going to have her come on, and we were going to kind of banter about with these things, but then I couldn't get her on her messages, on her text. She's probably out doing things with members of her family, and good for her. I could do the same thing. I could be out with my family, but I'm on the road. Well, I am visiting family here, but like I said, they're out doing their 12 days of Christmas thing, and I couldn't impose there. So one of these days I'll have another really good lady in my life that I can enjoy, and that thinks very similar to me. I don't need people to think exactly like I do. Matter of fact, that'd be extremely boring. But I do want somebody has their feet on the ground. I mean, and unfortunately there aren't many of those that I've been able to find. As a matter of fact, I was out shopping yesterday. You got to hear this story. I was out shopping yesterday. You're not going to believe I did this. I don't believe I did it. I was in a sporting goods store, and I noticed this lady walking around who's just my type. Just my type. And I looked at her and I thought, that's got to be the manager of the store. She's not in any one department. She's carrying around a tablet and a pen, and obviously she's looking at things. So she went from one department in this big sporting goods store to another. I said, that's got to be the manager. But man, she's cute. She's really cute. I wonder if she's as smart and as sociable as she is cute. Well, so I bought a couple things, and I'm at checkout, and I look over, and she's over standing with some employees. And I'm pretty sure this is the manager. I'm pretty sure. So, I walk over like I bought these things. I had them in a bag, and I walked over, and she's with this group of 4 or 5 employees, and they're talking, and I walk by them, and she's the one that asked me. She says to me, "Is there something I can help you with?" And, I turned around and I said, well, I'm still looking for some things to for Christmas, and I thought of something else I should get here, but that's not really true. The real reason why I came walking over here is because I wanted to get a closer look at you. Whoa. Well, our employees thought that was real interesting. I think not one of them said a word, and if she had not been with them, I probably would have asked her, because I always look for a ring. That's the first thing I look for, and I just didn't see it. And as hard as I looked, I couldn't find one. But although she looked surprised, she didn't seem to be too terribly upset. And so at any rate, I didn't ask her any other questions. I would have gone a little further and said, do you have a significant other in your life? And don't tell me you don't, because I couldn't believe that, not the way you are. You know how you say, how you approach these women. But I didn't do that. I didn't want to embarrass her in front of her employees, and I didn't want to press it. But I'm going back in the next few days. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So here we are. Oh, I just hit the camera again. I've done that a couple times. Here we are, in the 12 days of Christmas now, and we're coming down on the wire. So I want to know what you people think about this very serious situation, the truth of falsehood and vain philosophy. You're going to tell me whether or not you would rather eat peanut butter or swim. Okay, that's where we are tonight. That's the big question of the age. Hello, everybody, again, and I appreciate you coming in and keeping me company. And let's see what you're saying in chat. Have I been drinking? No. This is water, okay? I'm trying to make this light tonight. A little bit of a dry mouth. I did eat some almonds earlier, so I'm picking my teeth, but I won't do that in front of you. That wouldn't be very polite. Okay, good luck to you there. Heard it's bulging. Finest Planet saying, yes, it is bulging. They've been watching the Mount Rainier for some time. It really is a soft spot on the north face, and it is bulging. And of course, they expect it to. Well, they don't say it's going to blow any day, but it's definitely something they're keeping an eye on. Okay, beat the trifecta. Okay, yeah, beat the trifecta. Beautiful picture. I'm glad you like it, Val. That's great. Sound videos 5x5. Val, how did you know I wanted to know that? You people are so good. I mean, you're the best. You let me know and I didn't even have to ask. Thank you so much. You guys are just great. One of the things I found out about live streaming and basically using OBS is generally, and that's what I use for live streaming, and you can use it for recording too. What you wear, the background, the green screen, of course, is always an issue, but the camera even has a problem processing that, and the backgrounds will change everything from brightness to focus to saturation to all of those things, the number of lights that I'm using, whatever. And so each broadcast I found out I have to readjust for whatever it is I'm doing. If I change the background, if I'm wearing a red shirt, boy, you should have seen me have to deal with that tonight. That was like, I was bright red and I couldn't get rid of it. It took me a little while to figure out how to get the settings just right. So hopefully, I at least look halfway decent. When I say that, I mean normal here. Of course, you don't know what I really look like normal, do you? I change so much when I do these things. But anyway, good. I appreciate you telling me everything's looking good, Val. Thank you so much. Looks like Scotty from Star Trek tonight. Yeah, I love this shirt. As a matter of fact, I got this shirt in well, actually, I can't remember the name of the store. I think it was a Sears outlet somewhere in California, probably Diamond. Where is that? Diamond. It's just on the other side of the mountains from Chino Hills. I had a girlfriend there in Chino Hills. This was 10 years ago now. And so this shirt's 10 years old, and I bought it then. And I thought it kind of, for red shirts, which is something I'm not really big into. The last time I wore a red shirt was when I played in a band back in high school and college. And I had two shirts. I had a red shirt, and I had kind of a gold shirt. Not like Elvis Presley, but anyway. And those were my stage shirts, and I used them basically any time I was playing on stage. So I haven't really worn red since then, other than this shirt. Okay, I do have a Harley shirt that's red, but that's just because it's a Harley shirt. And I also have a casino shirt that somebody gave to me. But this was really the first red shirt that I bought outside of using red for bands. And it really does. I like it. The shoulders here, and there's a stripe down the back. It's really cool. It impressed her, and so that was really my object. And it kind of shows my physique. Well, it used to show my physique. I don't have much of a physique anymore, but again, you get the idea, right? Okay, so let's see what else is going on here. It's very beautiful. I'll be better off tonight looking at that mountain with Google Earth. Yeah, well, Google Earth, you won't see anything on Google. Well, I guess you would. The fog is really bad, and it's everywhere from the coast inland. And so I don't know how easy it would be to see. Probably, of course, the ceiling of the clouds is going to be below the summit of Mount Rainier. So yeah, it probably does look very good. Did I see any bulge? The pluricle? No. I've seen it on some other. I mean, just that picture you can't. There are some geological, the Geological Survey, I guess, has some pictures of it up there, and it's pretty obvious. Like I say, it's on the north side, but I haven't actually seen it myself. But that is Mount Rainier, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. Mestriel. I wish I had some sound here so I could find out how in the heck you say some of these names of these. Like yours is Sterali Mistriel. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. But you're saying evening blessings from Las Vegas. Thumbs up, number 11 here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Finest Planet talking about standing in the trade towers in New York City. I was there actually in 2001 before they got hit. I was there in New York. I think I was there in 2000 as well, but definitely in 2001. Yeah, eerie feeling how big those are, especially when you look up or if you're in the top looking down. I've also been in the Hancock Tower in the John Hancock Tower in Chicago, the Sears Tower in Chicago, and the Empire State Building. I've been in all those, as a matter of fact. Okay, all right. Let's see here if what we've got. Anybody saying anything? Has anybody answered me here as to whether you would rather have peanut butter or whether you would like to swim? Which of those two are you looking at? Okay. Anyone know what happened to AIM? That's a good question. I haven't gone back to AIM for a lot of reasons here lately. I used to push them quite a bit, but I haven't talked about them or gone to look at their information lately. Good question. I have no idea. You're talking about American intelligence media with Douglas and Betsy. I have no idea. I haven't really watched them for a long time. Like I said, I used to talk about them quite a bit. I don't know. Thank you for reminding me. I'll go check that out probably a little later. Just watching The Firm, Finest Planet. Great. Yeah, that's a good movie. Tom Cruise, I believe, is in that, if I remember. I like Tom Cruise movies. He can make a dull movie seem good. I don't know what it is, something about him. Yeah, Christina Wilson says, "Hi, Roy. So nice of you to come back so many times again. It's comforting. I've been bummed today over all this political mess," which is why I've done it. Of course, I wanted to give Barr that kudo. I had the information earlier this morning, and then this, I figured tonight was just, what the heck. Who knows? It's sort of like, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. They could cut off my YouTube channel tomorrow because I'm not, commercially viable. That was the big thing. They can't demonetize me, but they can take me off because I'm not making them any money. At least that's what they'll say, right? So I just thought, what the heck? I'll come on here and have a little fun tonight. All right, let's see what else we got. It's okay to be alone makes you think about avenues. I'm not sure what you mean about that, but that's interesting. In London, that there are thousands of people in the streets screaming at the sky. Yeah, with this whole thing with the election over there and all that, which we could talk about, but this is the most important thing. Do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? Okay, that's really where we are, okay? Because that's really what all of this is about anyway, right? I think so. I think that's what we're all about. Donna McQueen, hi Roy from North Carolina. How are you? Chunky or smooth? Now there's the question of the night, Deplorical. Outstanding. I like them both, but it depends on my mood. Isn't that a little odd? It depends on my mood. All the time I want natural. I'm not much into the ones that are really processed. I like them as natural as possible. Some of you might know what this is just from the kind of look, the way it looks, but that wouldn't be fair of me to show the label. Probably get in trouble for it, actually, especially with all the crazy things I'm saying tonight. But it depends on my mood whether I like crunchy or creamy. Okay, I like them both. I really do. I'd rather be skating on a pond, the Deplorical says. I tried that once, both with ice and without. We won't go there. That was quite an experience, as a matter of fact. Reminded me a lot of It's a Wonderful Life. I had that experience, if you know what I'm talking about. I thought I was skating on ice, and it turned out to be water. As a matter of fact, that was the night before I got married the first time, so no wonder I didn't quite have my head on straight. I wanted to eat it right now, yes. Okay, the people, not much money for gifts, baking, and dinner for family. That's really what it should be about. Gifts are kind of the commercialization. Coca-Cola started that with Santa Claus and all that in, what was that, 1930s. Before that, it was about just family getting together and enjoying each other's company and enjoying good food and the blessings of companionship and family and all that. But of course, Babylon had to get us away from that, and we have to merchandise everything. We have this idea that consumerism is the only thing that matters in the economy, and who does that really benefit? Well, it benefits us in a lot of ways. It gives us a lot of choices, but it also enslaves us, and it also gives us the wrong idea about what life is about. So I have a lot of respect for people who, try to pull away from that. Plus, eventually, especially this New World Order thing, what does the scripture say? If you're a scriptorian, if you follow that, it says that Babylon the Great will fall, and great shall be the fall thereof, so much so that the merchants of the earth will lament its fall. Well, too bad. That's the way I look at it. Too bad. They deserve what they get. Yeah, some of us will be taken down with them, and I don't want that, but this thing has just gotten way out of control. It really has. Okay, almond butter. Yes, absolutely. Good point, Karen Wilson. I love almond butter. Have you ever had flaxseed butter? That's really, well, actually, It's at Costco. It's I think it's like 7 different seeds. Flax seeds, one of them. Boy, that's a good one. It's really good for you too. It really helps on the other end, if you know what I mean. So I really like that. Can you swim while eating peanut butter? Tree climbing. That's a good question. Do you like to swim or do you like peanut butter? I guess you could do both, couldn't you? Okay, so you solved the riddle for tonight. You can do both. That's called, human beings are not supposed to be specialized, right? Specialization is for insects. We're supposed to be able to do a lot of things. So I think you win the prize tonight for the answer to the question. Thank you very much. That was great. Okay, well, Rick Monk, I really don't want to get into too much politics tonight. I know Trump is the best president Israel ever had. I know they're even saying that, aren't they? Yeah, I'm not saying that's necessarily bad, but what happened to America first, I don't know. But we're not going to go there tonight, okay? All right, let's see. Swimming is okay, snorkeling is better. Oh, I like snorkeling. I've done that quite a few times in Hawaii especially. I had a good time doing that. Okay, oh, Denise J, take care, everyone. I will watch replay. Good night. May you all have a sweet dreams. You're probably way back east. I know I got started. Well, actually, I got started about a half hour earlier tonight for nightcaps than I usually do. I usually start at 8:30 Mountain. I just went up at 8 tonight because, actually, it's going to be a pretty big day tomorrow. I got to go back and check on that lady at the sporting goods store. So, I'm going to be busy tomorrow. So, yeah. Okay. It's a big club and we ain't in it, Rich Monk. Yeah, that's true. I like to swim in peanut butter. I'd like to see that, Mr. Grendel. I'd like to see that. I imagine that's completely possible. Boy, I can imagine the cost of doing something like that. It'd be astronomical. Okay, let's see. My 2 cents worth. You're wondering about my opinion on your prime minister in Canada. I don't like him. That's pretty to the point, right? I think he's a pretty bad example of what government leaders should be, and that's all I'll say about it. And I think you understand what I'm saying. Okay. Actually, there aren't too many leaders in the world that I have a whole lot of respect for. Believe it or not, because of the changes that he has made and attempted to do for his people, I think Putin's a pretty good dude myself. I also like the president of Hungary. I think those guys have their stuff together. I'm not sure anybody else does. I'm still trying to decide on Trump, frankly. I don't know. I'm really impressed with what Barr's done today. I've seen some other interviews that he's done on all of this business. It sounds like, he's not pulling any punches and saying it like it is, but Trump has to unleash the Kraken. He has to go get these people and discipline them to the fullest extent of the law. Okay? All right. True Grit, yeah, YouTube is, it's always iffy. If I'm jumping around here, I apologize. I never know if I've got a good connection all the time or not. It seems like it's okay tonight, but if there is a problem, I apologize. There isn't much I can do about it. Okay. We are your friends. Eileen Dutton, you're so wonderful. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Which is another reason why I decided to come on tonight, and have this little discussion, right? Okay. He streamed live last night. Yeah, did I stream live last night? Yeah, I don't even remember. I've been doing quite a bit of this here lately. I said I'm not going to, and then little things come up, and I think, what the heck? I might as well, especially when it's important. I had to prove Deplorical said, I had to prove the shape of the Earth during my pursuit of the physics degree. Yep, it's round. Okay, well, I can accept that. The problem is, do you really think that NASA lost all the data, all the technical data for its trip to the moon in 1969, and they don't have the technical data to accomplish that today? A NASA engineer said that. And they also said that they don't have the technology to pierce through the Van Allen radiation belts today. Well, I'm just saying, it could still be round, but there might be something else going on there that we don't know about. You know what I mean? Maybe God really did set this thing aside all on its own and it's encapsulated. Maybe there are different things about the way we're laid out that they don't want to let us know. Maybe all those rockets that went up there, for instance, the picture of the Earth outside the Apollo 13 space, or Apollo 11, Apollo 13, I forget which one now, was actually just the window. Maybe they just staked, maybe it's sublunar orbits. I don't know. But I don't believe that they're telling us the truth about anything. This is the most important question. Do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? Okay. Washington State AG today said he's going to ban AR-15s, 20-30 round mags, and require background checks for ammo. They want a civil war. That's what they want. They're going to go after the innocent people. Did you see that poor girl that got stabbed in New York City? Did you see that 18-year-old? What if she had been able to protect herself with a weapon? These politicians are only concerned about themselves. So that Washington State AG is a piece of shit. Doesn't surprise me a bit. And what they want is a war with the decent people. They don't care about stopping illegal immigrants. They don't care about, somebody from another country coming in and shooting some American in the back. They don't care about that, or even Americans shooting each other in the back. What they're really concerned about is they don't want you to say no to them. But tonight, we're just going to let that go. The Washington AG is going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, I've already talked about some things that are happening up here. They're going to be a lot of trouble doing this. The people in Virginia, they're not going to stand for this in Virginia. The Virginia legislature, they must be a lot of people from California, because Virginians will only put up with so much. You got to remember, Thomas Jefferson was from Virginia. James Madison was from Virginia. George Washington was from Virginia. Ooh. And General Lee, the Army of Northern Virginia, those people won't be pushed so far. Okay? And the same thing in Washington State. The eastern side of the state is very much more conservative. The eastern side, where this asshole AG is likely from, their reality is, do you like peanut butter or do you like to swim? That's right. So fight them there, Rock Tumbler. Fight them everywhere. Fight them. Go to their offices, picket them, cut off their funds, refuse to pay taxes, and if they come for your firearms, Lexington and Concord all over again. Okay. Sudarochus. Yes, I agree. Flat versus sphere Earth is what opened my eyes. That and the 2016 election forced me to look at other possibilities. Yeah, don't believe anything they tell you. Science, too much of it is not based on scientific method. It's based on agreement. And that's what I talked about when I first started tonight. They all agree that this is going to be the set of the circumstances. Not necessarily based on any empirical evidence, but just because that's the way they're going to operate. And most of the time, it's to keep you in the dark. Okay. Let's see if anybody here has anything that I need to address. Really? 109 John Campbell. Funny, I should be talking about this. I had just been pondering these things. If they open their mouths, they're lying to you. Truth and knowledge are power, and they don't want you to have it. Remember George Carlin talked about that? They've got their club and we ain't in it. You and I ain't in it. Yeah, well, that's unfortunately very true. All right. Boots, Malloy, it's all diversion to confiscate our guns. That's not the only thing. But yes, Trump says that he's out there to support us and to protect the Second Amendment. He better get busy. He's got to go arrest the AG of Washington. He's got to go arrest the legislature in Virginia. He has to go to California and take care of those people. He better get busy in doing what Eisenhower did when there were states trying to take away people's constitutional rights. And he's doing nothing. But I don't want to go there tonight. this is an enjoyable night. Okay, let's have a little fun. We need these diversions once in a while, and my diversion isn't to take away your guns. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Darwinism was an agreement between a bunch of atheists. Right. G-Man Neo. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's all it was. It had to do with, and Alex Jones is right about this, it has to do with eugenics and the Ubermenschen and all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure is. Yeah, remember Isaiah said that men in this evil time will think that they can change times and laws and will make every effort to do so and will destroy themselves in the process. God help us to stay out of the way. Okay. Liza Jean Williams, I could care less what shape the earth is. Actually, that's a very good point to take because, regardless of how it's shaped, what impact are we going to make on that, right? And I agree. We need to love our fellow men and women and take care of each other. That's really what we're here for, regardless of what all of this is about as far as it's the way it's put together, it's engineering. The real bottom line is, will you have the same respect for others that you want for yourself? The old golden rule thing, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's really what this place is about. When you shake all of that down to the very, very primal base ingredients, it's to find out how we will treat each other. Thank you for saying that, Liza Jean. You're always on top of it. That's why I gave you a wrench. Thank you so much. Yes, tomorrow is Friday the 13th. And 13 is actually a good number. It's a lucky number. Yeah, I know. The French king and the Pope went after the Templars on the 13th. I think it was in October, if I'm not mistaken, October the 13th. But Friday the 13th, it was an unlucky day for Jacques de Molay and the Templars and many of the what were they called? The Catars, I believe was their name. Yeah, and there's a reason for that. It's not the way history tells it, and we won't get in there tonight. But frankly, 13 is a good number if you understand that. But that's why the king and the Pope did what they did on the 13th, because the Friday the 13th, because they wanted to desecrate the number 13, which is actually a good number. It's one of the things that if you understand what happened there, you can understand why they did it on that day. Same thing why the evil people used September 11th, 9/11. Same kind of thing. That was theirs, but in reality, the 13 is a good number. Okay, let me see what else we got here. We've been going for 42 minutes. This is good. Finest Plans. Sing 12 Days of Christmas. Break out the eggnog and brandy, Roy. I used to be able to sing. I can't do that now. Maybe in the lower ranges, but I don't even try that now. When I went into this church one time, I think I've told this story, and every time there's a new person in the church, they say, "Oh, come and be in our choir." And I said, I used to be able to sing, but I can't do that anymore. I just can't sing anymore. I haven't exercised those vocal cords in too long a time. And the choir director says, "No, nonsense. Come on over." So, all right. So I went on in, and they started the first song, and the choir director's doing this, and he goes, "Okay, hold on. Hey, Roy, come here. You're right. Thanks for coming by. Have a nice day." Yeah. So. Okay, Roy, move to the Midwest. We good bunch here. I know that. You're the flyover that the Democrats hate and the big cities hate. I know. I know some people up in the Midwest, actually, and you're right. I wish I were closer to a lot of those people. Okay, we're not going to get anything serious down there, Pratt. Sorry, I just can't do that tonight. I just can't. Okay. This is interesting. Paula Brandis says, "As though I can remember times of long ago, as though I have lived 200 plus years within my soul." Well, There are people that disagree with the possibility of multiple lives, but I'm not going to get into that argument tonight. All I'll say about it is this: that yes, being eternal beings, you have been in very many different situations. I'll just put it that way. Maybe not here, maybe here. I'm not going to get into that argument, but I do believe that you've gone through. All of us have been through many, many schools. Let's put it that way. I will go along with that. Okay, let's see what else we have here, and then we'll sporting good date night. Yeah, Melody Dawn. Well, we'll see. With my luck, it'll turn out she's got a significant other. Actually, I've got an inside scoop on that I'm going to find out probably tomorrow. May not even have to ask her. Inside scoop. Okay, somebody who knows her personally, I found out. Actually, it was kind of by accident. So anyway, if there's a significant other, well, I back out right away. Okay, how dare I? Don't have any idea what you're talking about. She didn't slap me. She actually smiled back at me. She did. That might be a good sign. I don't know. Okay. Roy, what do you know about black Q? It's like some kind of evil liquid. I have no idea what you're talking about, Val. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hope you find a mate, Roy. There are people I won't name here, but there are people that do approach me quite a bit. But as I've said, I'm really, after my situation on the dating site, on the internet dating site, and then some things that have happened here on Twitter and on YouTube, I'm really cautious. I think I need to just do it the way God, intended, as you meet somebody someplace, God arranging it type of thing. Okay, Roy Potter, can you summarize the current Bundy Ranch situation? Well, we don't want to do that tonight. I'll just tell you that Barr needs to tell his DOJ they're in front of the Ninth Circuit now, trying to get the Ninth Circuit to put aside the judge's dismissal with prejudice because of the prosecutorial misconduct and other things. And Barr just needs to tell his DOJ attorneys there to just go ahead and withdraw from that and to leave those people alone. But I don't think Barr will do that. He's in a world of his own or whatever. I'm not sure what's going on there. Finest Planet says BP Earthwatch, please do the Adam and Eve story again. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that is an interesting story. I'm sure BP's take on that is a little bit different than mine. But I know Jesse is involved in ancient Hebrew. By the way, Jesse, have you looked into this situation where there's a question as to whether or not the Greek New Testament was actually, at least the Gospels were originally in Hebrew, and they were actually translated from the Hebrew into the Greek, which would cause some definite problem in translations and euphemisms. But there are some people that are saying that they have actually found the original Hebrew manuscripts. I know this has been an argument going on for a long time, but I do know that in the Hebrew, many, many interpretations that go into the Greek and then into the English would be substantially changed, and I imagine you probably know that. Okay. Angler Strong says, about time Roy found a girl after all this traveling looking for girls. I'm not traveling looking for girls. Maybe I ought to, but that's not my motivation. Okay, that's not what it is. Let's see. Eliza Jean says, if you give BP a wrench, it will be easier to see his comments. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Okay, I'll do that. Here we go. I am going to do that right now just because of you, Eliza Jean. Jesse, it usually doesn't show up right after I do it, but I made you as a giving you a wrench on this channel, okay? Yeah, I should have done that a long time ago, and I didn't. I apologize. Agony in Gethsemane. Kellyanne Conway deserves so much better. Isn't that the weirdest marriage you've ever seen? I think it beats mine as far as weirdness. I don't mean with Carol, but some of the other things that some of you know I've done. That thing between Kellyanne and her husband, I got to admit, that's just weird. I'll admit. And I think it's for real. I think they're really like that. I imagine they don't have just separate beds. They probably have separate bedrooms at the least, and probably separate houses. Man, that's just a weird one. That is so weird. Man was not meant to be alone. Rose of Sharon Homestead. That's really true. Women can kind of, when women, for those of you who've been widowed, or for whatever other reason, lost your mate, your husband. I can't put myself into your position, but I've heard that women can deal with the loss of a mate easier than a man can, and it's partly because of what you just said. It's not good for men to be alone. We have this thing where uh, certain parts of us are, we need to express ourselves, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. And boy, I'll tell you what, I sure miss Carol, my wife. She was the epitome of everything I could ever have wanted. Not saying there couldn't be somebody else. I'm not saying that. But it has made me so that I'm a little more careful, especially after the situation I ran into when I tried dating a couple of years after she died, and that particular relationship turned out to, oh my gosh, I wish that had been a little bit better. S. Benny, please submit your full report on your next conversation with the lady. I'll try to remember that. Okay. No way. You're talking about Trump reciting the parable of the snake, and guess who he was referring to? Yeah, I know. That's been slipped back on him before, too. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? We have to smile and laugh all the way through life, even to the gallows. Eileen Dutton. Wow. Yeah, I would say that's one of the profound statements for tonight. My wife used to say, you need to learn to dance in the rain. And that's basically what you're talking about. Okay, we're going to go for about five more minutes, and then we'll shut it down. Janet, we the people, I gave up 20 years ago on men, no offense. Well, I judge the way you want to be judged. The other way it says, judge that you'd be not judged, right? Well, what I would say is, I've had problems, with women, especially with the way things have happened now with the television, with the Me Too movement, with drugs, with the feminist movement, and all of this. It's divided us, and it was done on purpose. And so a lot of what we're seeing is because of these problems that have been forced down upon us, and a lot of people are susceptible to those suggestions. I don't think it's really that way. I mean, there's always been the disagreement between the sexes because we use different parts of our brain. We're set up biologically different for different things. Women are, they've got to think about, I mean, let's just be grown-ups here. Intercourse for a woman can be life-altering, if not life-threatening, right? It's a very serious thing. So I understand women being protective on that. And that's why the marital relationship, the marital embrace should be really safe for very, very serious situations. I'm not saying you need a state marriage. That's not what I'm talking about. But, there are some things there that are of concern to women, and good men should be aware of that. By the same token, women need to understand, as somebody said here a few minutes ago, that it's not good for men to be alone. It really isn't. I've talked about the ASMR, and some ASMRs is really quite benign. They really are trying to help you to relax. These really nice ladies, and some men. I don't listen to the men. That would be weird. But, some of these ladies, they do really good and they relax you. Some of them are provocative, and that's really not fair to the guys. It really isn't. I'm not saying they aren't beautiful. I'm not saying they're not talented. But the provocative part of it is difficult for guys. It really, really is. And, of course, the girls depend on that because the guys want more and they'll give them money. Well, I avoid those because, I figure if I can't actually touch it, why make the pretense, right? But ASMR is, yeah, I love ASMR stuff. Yeah, Val, it's really good. GB is my favorite. GB is really good. Uh, Gentle Whispering, Maria, she immigrated here from Russia. Those are my two favorites. There are lots of others I could name, but that is a talent for the people that know exactly how to do it. Okay. I love that, BP Earthwatch. Rose of Sharon, we are honored to take care of and protect our women. True men are like that, Jesse. True men are like that, and I agree. What happened to that poor girl from Barnard College or whatever there in New York? Um, our political leaders ought to be ashamed of themselves. And this thing with Washington State wanted to take away the means of self-protection, and the same thing in Virginia. These are demonic people that are doing this under the pretense, and you and I, and we all really know that. Yeah, Jack Kennedy, I know. Anyone who's been through family court is battle scarred, and all that's by design. That's why, I still try to keep it open, okay, for a lot of reasons. Okay, we got less than 5 minutes left. Let's see if there's anything here that we can do. I hope you all have enjoyed the little visit tonight. We've got into a few serious things, but most of it I've tried to keep light, right? And I am going to have some peanut butter when I sign off. I absolutely am. That's definitely what I'm going to do. Okay. I don't want to get into that right now. No Way says, why does the state of Israel use the star of Remphan as its symbol on the flag? Well, did you know that the original symbol for Israel was the Tav? Jesse probably knows this. The cross. Did you know that? Yeah. Things kind of got switched around. Okay, it's part of the deception. People want to claim what isn't really true for themselves. It gets kind of crazy. Apple butter, Matthew Hill. I like apple butter. Yeah, I like that. I do. Yeah, I like it a lot. Okay. I helped to lighten your mood, Christina Wilson. Good. That was my anticipation of doing tonight. That's what I wanted to do. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Not always. Not always. Okay. Let's see if there's anybody else here that's got something going that I should address. No. X 743. Maybe a little later. Okay. We'll leave it there. Just under an hour, I think that's just right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed tonight. I have, actually. This was very spontaneous. You know what happened? I saw this sitting. I keep it in my room because this is what I snack on. And I saw it and I thought, that's the answer to everything. So it gave me the inspiration to put this little thing on tonight. Okay, Marty Lauderdale, you crack me up. I wish you luck and love around your next corner. You're great. Yes, many of us are in the same boat, and the more selective we are being finer specimens, well, it takes time. It definitely does. Okay, all you people are so wonderful. We get some nasties on here, some trolls and whatever, but of course, the majority of you are wonderful, and I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate our interchange. We're not always going to agree on everything, and of course not. If we did, think how boring that would be, right? All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll do an impromptu, spontaneous upload if something important happens. It could, it may not, or I just might see something that's kind of neat. In this neck of the woods, if the fog ever lifts, and if I can get out and do some things, and there are some neat things, some good sightseeing things to see here, I might make a live stream of one of those. Okay, all right. So thanks again for coming, and we'll see you again in the very near future, despite the fact that I get aggravated and lose my temper, and sometimes want to change my focus. I know that this venue of being able to speak our minds and to speak freely, at least to some extent, is very important. And I really do know that very deep down inside. God bless you. God bless yours. We'll talk to you in a few days out here.